I can remember as a kid visiting national parks and places that as an adult are at least an order of magnitude greater than I ever remember them being, which left me thinking, what is it about an area that leaves an impact on us? I mean, it's just a mountain or forest or you fill in the blank, but there is something about standing at the foot of a cliff or looking over the edge of a waterfall that not just puts how insignificant we are into perspective, but it can be borderline religious. It was Yosemite National Park when I can first remember having these thoughts, and as we pulled into the valley and peered into one of the most incredible views, I couldn't help but wonder what it must have felt like to be the first explorer to lay eyes on what I was staring at. There's not a lot of our planet that hasn't been visited or documented, and with all the modern technology, it's hard to imagine we've missed somewhere to be explored, but the adventure in me still holds out for the chance that maybe someday we'll discover something that centuries of exploration and all that tech may have missed. But maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm Jason, a wild adventurer, and this is my better half, Francesca. She's pretty much the glue that holds this little family together. Marley is my firstborn, and a little too smart for her own good if you ask me. Jax is my boy through and through. There's not a tree too tall or a trail too tough for this little adventurer. So this is the OXFamily. Our two stowaways, Nana Mia and Auntie Nini, and the story of an ordinary family wandering this amazing planet in search of extraordinary places. We had one stop to make in Nevada before heading to the Grand Canyon, so we left our friends in Reno and made the nearly 400-mile trek to a place that we knew very little about, Great Basin National Park.
Roll with the punches. We'll roll with the punches. We'll roll with the punches.
Alright, today's project is fusing our charging wire so we can charge on the road while we're driving, and switching some wiring around so we can read out all the amperages and all that good stuff off our battery monitor. So that's what's on the list of things to do today. I can remember a buddy once said to me, there's no substitute for preparation, and it's always easier fixing a truck in a shop or garage than the roadside or dirt trail. But when you're a nomad, sometimes the only option you have is to roll up your sleeves, put your work pants on, and dig in. So I took the only option I had, installed my fuses as quickly as I could, then took the family into Great Basin proper. Alright, well, we made it to Great Basin National Park, and it's also Francesca's birthday, so happy birthday to her. She's, well, I won't give away her age, she might get mad at me if I did that, but now we're going to go in the visitor center and do our regular find a patch and figure out what we're doing and where we're going.
Yep. About you I like.
Happy birthday, Mama.
For saying I should slow down, but maybe I'm escaping the love we found. There's something about you I like.
You liked yours since you were a little kid, you know that?
I get tired.
That's why I got you that little deer
One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better.
What happened? You were going down.
Yeah, I think it's those bumpy roads.
The washboard gave you a flat tire?
No. This just happened to Josiah, like not too long ago.
Was it the same tire?
I think, or maybe it was the front one? No, it was the same one, I think.
Maybe the... Look at that little tiny tire.
Unfortunately, it was their car, not ours.
Talk about a quickie.
That's how you do this yourself. You always tighten them crossways. So this one, it doesn't matter which crossways you do, but
Yeah, that
always
makes sense.
And then I just go around one more time.
Yeah.
And then tighten everything.
Okay.
Birthdays and holidays are always a little strange on the road. We never quite know where we're going to be or who we'll be spending it with. But like most things when you're a nomadic family, you learn to ride the wave. And aside from a flat tire and Auntie Nini and Nana Mia's car, Mama Ox's first Overland birthday was a success.
We went on a little hike today. Well, the kids, Jason, me, my mom, my sister. And we hiked about 3/4 of a mile, and then my mom and I and my sister decided to go longer. And we were just going to go for another 15 minutes, but we decided to go, I think it was a total of 5 miles. And it was all uphill. I'm going to feel the pain. And I want you to roll your ankle. I already rolled mine. Okay, it doesn't need to be starting. I'm going to let it cook. Okay, why don't you get down? Thank you. Let's get down. Got it?
I couldn't have been more than 11, and I can barely remember anything about the trip I took to the Grand Canyon as a kid, except for that my brother threw up in this tiny prop plane my dad splurged on when we came through. I think the Grand Canyon was one of our stops that everyone was looking forward to, which made me realize that all the good spots are in the national parks. I mean, of course, it's obvious the reason that they became parks in the first place is because of how popular they were, but I wonder if there was any that were missed, too hard to get to, or were just plain forgotten about. I guess there is something about discovering somewhere no one, or at least not many people have been, that stirs something in every explorer's gut. But what do we do if most of the world's already discovered? Whatever the case, we were all excited about seeing one of the world's 7 natural wonders, so we headed out early in search of a good base camp. Just arrived at the Grand Canyon area, and we need to do laundry. So we're trying to find a campground that has laundry. Everything says full or unavailable. So
We've noticed that just being in the Great Basin, everywhere says full. Like, we went by 3 campgrounds that said full, but nobody was in there. Like, maybe 1 or 2 people. So it's just really weird that everywhere says full, but no one's actually in there.
yeah, Forest Service, jeepers. Like, there's twice as many campers out and about, and you guys have shut down most of the facilities for I don't really know what reason, because the best place to social distance is outside, so I don't know, one of those things. But anyways, we're gonna head to, this is a private campground, and we're gonna see if they've got a spot for us for at least one night so we can get some laundry done and all that jazz. Okay.
No one's in this side.
We had a big day of exploring ahead of us, so we checked in, did some laundry, washed ourselves up, and prepared for our first real day in Arizona's Grand Canyon. I can just hear the kids now. Daddy, I don't want it to be a drive day. They're always long, even if we're not far from our destination. We found a rhythm in how we travel that allows me to spend more time with the family and less time in the trailer editing, but that means Mom drives, I work in the car, and the kids, well, they're real good at the phrase that anyone traveling with little one knows too well. Are we there yet? I'm a driver, always have been, and the older I get, the more I appreciate the open road. In fact, my favorite moments are when the family's fast asleep while I'm taking in the landscape. Windows down, music just loud enough to hear, and all is right in my world. So switching things up where my driving time is limited just amplifies my appreciation for it.